So when we spoke last week on press day, we talked basically just a lot about how much you're enjoying it, and based on the announcement we got shortly after that, I would say that's echoing the sentiment. Are you still going, just enjoying it that much that we're signing back up for some more?
Oh yeah, that's it, man. Like I said, signed up for motocross and SMX, so keep her going.
Nice. So we're here at Daytona. Everybody kind of has their own spin on what to do to get ready for Daytona. You're always kind of on your own, so we don't see maybe as much on social media and things like that from other riders. Do you mix up your test track at all at home? Do you mix a little outdoor section in, or at this point, do you kind of know it well enough it doesn't really do it for you?
Yeah, I do mix in like a sand wash section at my track at home, and but to be honest, my secret to Daytona is there's no secret. You just got to ride it. Just don't overthink it, man. You got to ride it. You can try so many different things for this track, and a lot of times things don't work out. So you just got to ride it, and this race is truly about the rider.
Is that one of the things the experience has just brought? Have you at any point early in your career maybe overthought this race, overthought the testing, spent 2 weeks coming up with a setting, and then show up and go,
Correct.
Yeah, it doesn't work?
Good. Yep, I've been there, done that, and by the end of the night show, we're back to our Supercross bike. So that's why you just have to adapt to the track and just ride it.
So there's been a few people that have been kind of like, it's the same layout as last year. I thought, at least from the fan standpoint, I thought last year's was one of the better ones we kind of followed. Are you cool with seeing it again? Did you like last year's layout that we basically have back this year?
I guess it's a change up, as in that we've never really raced the same track twice, so that's kind of interesting to see just how things fall that way. But this place changes so much that even though it's the same basic layout, the ruts are going to form a lot different. The bumps, I don't think this place could ever be replicated. So even though it's the same general layout, it's not going to race the same probably.
There's always that adage, the championship starts at Daytona. Big Ricky thing always used to say, Daytona's actually a tick earlier in the season than it used to be. You do well here. Does that motivate you all? Do you get kind of into that thing, or nah?
Yeah. I mean, I need to take advantage of it. I definitely need to take advantage of my strong points right now, and this track should be one for me.
I would say one of the toughest things with this championship so far between yourself, Chase, and Cooper is, other than your early races, none of you have really broken away for more than one race in a row. It's been hard to get that momentum.
Yeah.
Do you think you could get it started tonight? Do you think you can get it going the next couple rounds, or do you kind of foresee this championship continuing to be like that?
It's a tough question. I don't know. I don't know, but try to take advantage of this track, like I said.
Cool. Last one, anything you've changed up the last week or two, or been pretty smooth sailing for the most part?
Smooth sailing, yeah. Yeah, not much change.
So, we talked earlier, you said you have not done Daytona since 50s. It is a sketchy race to do as an amateur a little bit, but is it any better on big bikes? What was the experience like?
Oh, yeah, I mean, the track's awesome. It's sick, so I'm having a good time out there. The rhythms are fun, and it's technical, though. We're going to have to be strong and use our heads tomorrow. The track's going to get chewed up, so we're going to be looking for good lines, and yeah, overall, it looks good.
It looks like there's a lot of things in some of the rhythms that pull you off balance pretty easily. Do you have to watch for that?
Yeah, definitely. I did this little double, and my front tire instantly grabbed a rut out of nowhere, and I almost fell. But besides that, yeah, things just kind of grab you when you're not expecting it. So we have to pay attention.
Anything that really, we only rode the second half of the track today. Anything that you saw on it that's going to be kind of a make it or break it for the 250s come race time?
I've seen a few lines. There's a few things out there that I think I could do that will help. So, yeah. But riding smooth is just going to be the way to do it this race. And some of these guys on the podium are going so fast right now that they can make mistakes and still do good. So it's kind of hard right now to get past that level. I got to get to their speed still. But I think once I get my speed a little better, it's gonna be good.
Scoop tire for first qualifying?
Oh yeah, so we got the scoop tire on. I think I might leave it on all night. I think it might be the move, just being able to dig around the track. I mean, the rhythms and everything are super soft, so I think the paddle tire is gonna be the move.
So Daytona, especially of the last maybe about decade or so, is kind of honestly Tomac's place. He's really good here. You came really close last year. What have you learned about this track over the years? What have you changed up with your direction? Are you one of those guys that tries to test and set up a bike for here, or have you kind of just realized you can't replicate this place?
Yeah, like you said, it's Eli's been dominant here, so I feel like I've been good as well. Every time I've raced here, I've been on the podium. But yeah, we're racing Eli, which is tough. So Yeah, for me, usually we don't go too crazy. We kind of stick to the plan. We'll make some adjustments, but it's definitely a gnarly individual track. Like you said, you can't duplicate it. It seems to still be pretty supercrossy in general, but then got your gnarly sand sections and some outdoor sections. So it's a tough one for setup. I think it tests everybody, and but more importantly, it's a physical, demanding track. It changes, gets rough, so it definitely suits my style though.
Have you been a guy that's ever tried to really chase a setting here, or have you been able to keep pretty even keeled in the mind and know, yeah, you can get yourself spun out really quick trying to get something dialed for Daytona?
It's hard, man. I think, nothing really feels great here, to be honest. So for me, yeah, you have kind of a plan A and a plan B is what we normally do. One's if it's more supercrossy, one's if it's more motocrossy. And yeah, you'll chase it all day if you're trying to perfect it. That's the beauty of Daytona.
This championship so far between yourself, Eli, and Chase, it's just such a back and forth. It doesn't seem like anyone can get basically two wins in a row, get momentum on the other. Do you see it being like that for a few weeks later, or do you think one of you is finally going to break away, or is it just that tough right now?
I sure hope it's me, right? But I think we're so close. It really is anyone's up for grabs. I believe at the moment we all have the speed, we have the fitness, and we have that the good starts and the racecraft. So it's going to be a gnarly season, and I'm excited for it. I feel like I thrive for these situations and really enjoy when we get down the stretch when it does become more of a mental war game than anything else. So I'm excited, and I think we're in a good spot, and I sure would love to get the momentum and click off 2 in a row.
So even the last couple of weeks in press conference, just the races you've had, you seem to be really enjoying it. I know when we spoke preseason, of course last year wasn't that. There wasn't probably that much enjoyment going on. How do you thrive? Like, do you just love the intensity when you have this tight of a battle going between you three? Because I would think more people would be bothered, but every round it gets tighter, you just seem to be more excited.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a competitor, man. I think that's what brings me back, and if I'm not able, last year when I struggled, I wasn't able to win, and it wasn't fun. So for me, that's what's fun about racing. It's the winning and the competitive pressure. That's what I love is having to perform. So for me, that's what I enjoy, and that's why I really do enjoy these tight points. And obviously, when you win, it definitely hits that cherry on top. But I mean, I think at the end of the day, this is what you train for in the off season: is to be prepared for these situations, to go the long stretch, to go maybe down to the wire if needed. But yeah, I just love being in the championship hunt.
So do you buy into the whole Daytona prep week, doing the whole combo track, everything, or is it just kind of one of those things, no matter what you do, you just can't quite replicate the real deal?
We did this year. I mean, everyone kind of has their own little track layout, but previously on the tracks I've been on, it felt like super slippery, and when you come here, you actually have somewhat good traction. So this year, we actually got some pretty deep sand, and then also mixed in with like really orange clay, which was a really good mixture that held ruts and also had really good traction. So something a little different. We didn't do a lot of changes to the track, just added that one section in, a few rollers, and that was about it. So there's not really much you can try and replicate for this race. It's so unique. So track looks the exact same as last year. So hopefully we can just keep getting better on it. Last year I was not very good in practice, and then I was good for the night show. So build on that.
Is there anything you've really learned about, you haven't done Daytona, or how many times have you, between 250 and 450, like 5 times?
5 times.
5 times? Anything you've really learned about this place, anything that you really have kind of changed your approach on it, like not spin yourself out trying to chase it too much? Or?
Yeah, because I mean, during the day, like I've really learned, like you could be kind of far off in practice and then come out for the night show and be right there, because practice is just like getting that one perfect lap in the sand. It blows out so many times that you just have to kind of take what you get, and then for the night show, it's really just being consistent and not getting stuck into one line, because it changes so much. You have to move around, and for me, that's something that I had to learn. The first year I raced here, I came back from injury. This is my first race back, and then last year I was a lot better. So track gets really gnarly, obviously, like all of them, but this one is a little bit of a different animal.
Anything other than the combo track, anything you worked on this week or really focused on?
We did some suspension testing this week. All Tuesday I tested till about 4 o'clock. Got some work with the front end and the rear, so I rode Wednesday after that, and I was really happy with the bike, so hopefully that translates to tomorrow.
Nice. You starting to feel better now you're back east. I know you said when you've been riding more broken down tracks, you realize you need to work on them more. You've been getting a little more comfortable now you've been back here.
For sure. This week was one of my better weeks I've had. I feel back to how I felt before Anaheim won. I feel like after Anaheim, I was like on not a downward spiral.
You kind of had a little peak, a little valley.
I felt like I was just like doing this a lot, and now I feel like I'm on the build back up. So,
hey, perfect time. They say the championship starts at Daytona.
Yeah, we're just kind of getting to the thick of this thing. So now I need to kind of hit my stride and start having some good. I mean, we've had good races, but we need to really start having some great ones.
I've said this to both Eli and Cooper today. It's really unique. Nobody's broken away out of the three of you. It's been really tough for any of you guys to put together more than one race where you pull points on the other. And at this point, one of you three have to basically step up and make that happen.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, all of us have the same goal. We want to do that. So for me, I just trying to do me and try and be the best version of myself I can possibly be out there. So if I can do that, we'll be in a good spot. But for me, I'm just, like I said, trying to get better and better every weekend and not get too close-minded.
So, Jason, being a SoCal-based, maybe not the usual Daytona, let's build a bunch of sand sections next to your Supercross track, I'm guessing, were you able to do anything this week that really prepared you for this? Or at the same time, is it just one of those things that Daytona is what it is, you can't replicate it?
Yeah, it is what it is. I rode our Supercross track 2 days this week, and that was it. Showed up to press day.
Nice. You like the snow we got this week?
Yeah. Actually, like, a lot of people were kind of tripping because like you couldn't ride or anything like Supercross wise, but one of our Supercross tracks was kind of good all week. So I was able to ride normal schedule and be able to get a couple days in and yeah.
Nice. Anything you've really changed in the last week or two approach-wise, or anything you've changed, or just same old, same old?
I mean, obviously I'm just working on myself, and then our platform and stuff like that, we've changed some things, especially from the beginning of the season. But to be honest, there's not much we've changed in the last few rounds, just tweaking it here and there, and just trying to make sure we go in the right direction as the days go on.
Are you starting to feel more like yourself on race day? I'm guessing during the week practice tracks, you probably click off laps, you probably know what you're capable of. Do you go to the races and do you straight up know, like, man, I'm not riding like I do during the week? Are we getting closer to that, or just with all the incidents? Have you felt like you've been riding good all year and it's just been weird things happening?
I feel like Tampa, I was riding really well. I think Oakland, I rode well through the day, and I think I made wrong changes for the night. And then last weekend, I feel like I was riding good. And as far as everything else, I just feel like there's just some things that I just need to work on to be close to those guys. The pace with the front three is really hot right now, and for me, I feel like I'm kind of a fourth guy in no man's land a lot of. As results go, so I think if I can, step it up, and I think last weekend getting in that win and showing my speed right there was a step in the right direction.
I think the sad part is your first moto, I feel like, got really overlooked last week because you and Chase both had to come through the pack a long ways. A lot of the focus on Chase, but you were basically doing the same thing. You were rail off a couple guys a lap. I thought your first moto last week was good.
It was, and it's tough because it's a lot of energy and stuff like that. But it's it feels good.
Chance, is this the last one for your East Coast spree, or how many more we got?
Yeah, this is the last one.
You looking forward to go out with a little bit of a bang tonight, or is it just the same as every other race? Just learn, log laps, or?
No, I want to go out with a bang this one. I mean, I don't want to end like I did last week, or I don't want to be eighth. I want to keep building. I want to be up there with those guys. So I want to go out with a bang.
Nice. So after this weekend, just full steam ahead with outdoors?
Yep.
Nice. What have you learned so far the most in Supercross? Is there anything that's really kind of caught you off guard or you just did not expect?
I mean, the speed's high, intensity's high, but I mean, these guys are men. I mean, you gotta ride like them. Got to be aggressive. It's a lot different than racing at an amateur level, but it's been a good experience.
Supercross track is tough. I mean, it's for anybody that's never run it. It's so narrow compared to anything else you ride. Any little miscue, somebody can launch sideways, basically. Amateur racing can be a little rough sometimes, but pro racing, like that intensity, like I said, they're men, they're going to be aggressive, but at the same time, is it pretty surprising how much you can trust some of these dudes on Supercross track? Did that take a little bit getting used to, like how close you guys will literally be through rhythm sections?
Yeah, it definitely is kind of crazy. I mean, we can literally be not even we can be like this far from each other, and like we're still going straight. No one's running into each other mid rhythm. But I mean, I've ran into a couple sketchy moments with people cross jumping, but like it's racing. It is what it is.
Did it take you a little while first? Like, did you find yourself being tentative when that happened, or have you been able to grasp it pretty quickly and be like, nah, I can push through these situations?
Probably I was being a little tentative. I mean, it's just like I've never been in that scenario, so it's just I needed to, get past the point like I was, almost scared. I needed to get past that point and just race. I mean, if we run into each other, we run into each other. It is what it is. But like it's just a different level of racing that a lot of people, I don't think they understand how much different it is. So I'm trying to get used to it, and I feel like I've adapted pretty well to it. But obviously, I still need to be better. But from at least where I started, I'm better.
Seems like this last week might have been one of the first times that being in Arizona would have had an advantage. It snowed out in our neck of the woods. Was it any better in your neck of the world?
It was really good. It had rained Sunday after Dallas, and everything was awesome. Dirt was great. Got some really good days of riding in, but after I left that Wednesday night, it actually snowed in Phoenix and in Scottsdale and all around. And it actually was staying on the ground. So, yeah, the weather kind of hit there pretty crazy, and, glad I got out of there.
What's it been like stepping in, you're a veteran, but stepping into this situation, the pressure, how's it been the last couple rounds? Has it been tougher than you expected to maybe get going this season, or what's been kind of the biggest challenge for you?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge is obviously just getting such a late start. Obviously I got the call from Mitch, and very late. I think the Friday before the first round, like a week before the first round. So obviously I knew kind of going into it I'd be behind the eight ball, obviously, and trying to play catch up with everyone that has obviously had months of preparation. And, I think our main goal is just to make improvements every week and every weekend with the results. And, we're doing that. So it's been a little tough and a little frustrating at times because I want to be up there more, but I know it's going to take a little bit of time, a little bit of a process. So being older, I know that, and trying not to rush it and grenade myself. So, it's been a lot of fun in the meantime.
Has it been tough during the week to balance what to work on, whether it's the bike, whether it's sprints, whether it's just getting laps and fitness under your belt? What have you been prioritizing?
Yeah, I think at first we were trying just to get the bike handling really good, suspension-wise. Ergonomically, I think we made a couple small adjustments at the very beginning and was very happy with that from here on out. So, yeah, it's just a matter of just getting laps in, getting used to the intensity, the race pace, and try to just get the fitness better. And that's happening. So it's going to take a little bit of time and to be where exactly I want to be, but we're making improvements every weekend, so happy with that.